So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right. Welcome to the Big and Small podcast. I'm Jason Shields and I'm big.
And I'm Marit Gabrielsen and I'm the tiny one.
I'm excited today. Today we have in the house
A new guest.
Yes. Big Daddy. Joans Murray. He's one of our awesome fighters in our jiu-jitsu community. He's been a person that I have followed since he was a kid. And he now is a fantastic adult father, world traveler, jiu-jitsu phenomena, teacher. And I want to welcome him back from his world travels. I'm so glad to have you back in the community. Thank you for coming back, number one, because we're living in a beautiful paradise, Voss. But we have a tendency to lose young people and they come back to have their kids or whatever. But, you know, many of our talented, beautiful people get distracted and end up other places in the world. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for the invitation and the lovely introduction.
I just have to say, you can't hear this, but this guy bakes sourdough bread.
Yeah, oh man, he walked in with a loaf of sourdough bread today. It was warm. I'm like,
It's
okay,
hot sourdough bread.
That's it. I almost had to cancel the podcast.
Yeah,
because
honey and butter. We need honey and butter, but podcast is scheduled. Like this is a conundrum.
Yeah, we love you guys out in podcast land so much that we said no to hot sourdough and butter and honey.
Well, we didn't say no. We just said we will just wait 45 minutes and then have it.
Yeah, I think it's worth waiting for. I hope at least.
Yeah, for sure. So when did you get into baking bread?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think during my exploration into like different ways of eating, I've been looking for years, I guess, and in that process, sourdough came up, and I started looking at YouTube videos and kind of gave it a go and had some mediocre results.
Yeah,
in the beginning, like okay, not really like YouTube, but
not really like YouTube.
Yeah, right.
I love it. It's just so not really like YouTube.
Yeah, right.
No, but I mean that. Yeah, it's that thing of once you get into it and you really get passionate about it, then you see the process, and so I don't know. I did it. I started, I guess, 5 years ago. I think.
Wow, cool.
And then I have a tendency to deep dive into things.
Yes.
And spend a little bit more time than maybe is more time than I should. I guess.
No, it just means that you really explore that thing.
Exactly. You see, that's the thing. If you're going to wear...
Because what should you?
Yes.
Because too many of us touch a little bit. Like Jason's nickname at home is too much.
Yep.
Yes.
Because he goes too deep into stuff. And my husband, he just don't go deep into stuff. So we actually have to force him to now start going deep into stuff because he has a tendency of having 15 projects. So I'm very for using 5 years on sourdough.
Yeah.
Please do that. It's very nice because you actually get to explore that thing.
Yes. Yeah, well, you learn the do's and don'ts, and you make your own little micro adjustments. And because it's like on paper, it's very, very simple.
Yeah, right. There's so many things that in theory are easy, but you're going to level that stuff up.
Exactly.
Guess what?
Yeah. And it's magic.
It is magic.
You have 3 ingredients. You have You have flour, water, and a little bit of salt,
Yeah.
and that's it. And you can bake. I mean, you can bake the most amazing bread just out of that, depending on how you treat
the
it,
dough.
and the time you take, and resting is a big part of it. Like just leaving it for a bit and leaving it maybe a bit longer because you really want to touch the dough again. Anyways, so you can either just end up with a mush, or you could end up with a YouTube-looking sourdough loaf.
Yeah.
And the reward from that is it's
very satisfying. Right?
Nothing beats
Definitely.
good bread.
Well, the sourdough is also a little bit special because this is like, if you guys out there don't know about sourdough culture, like there are cultures of sourdough that people like give to their friends and they keep alive. You have to
they have
feed it.
name. They have names.
names.
You name your sourdough.
Yeah, because
at least my friends have.
They've been in the family for weeks, months, years, and there are places in Manhattan that go all in on the sourdough bread, but also in culture. So they sell the culture for the sourdough. So it's
you were
it's
talking
high
about
society.
that culture.
It's high society. It's
I was thinking,
culture.
culture? What culture?
It's sourdough culture is culture.
Yeah, no, I understood it now, but my Norwegian brain went to culture, like music, like art. But no, the sourdough culture, the which you call it in Norwegian.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's like, but that's actually a thing.
And you won't share your culture with whoever. They need to kind of take care of the offsprings of your.
Yes.
At least I know people that are very particular of who they give it to.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, you wanna I guess see people enjoy it as much as you do. But
Yeah,
at the same
and it
time,
takes some time to make it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, it takes.
And you need to
about 24
feed
hours.
it. Yeah, and you need to feed it and take care of it. If you
Wait,
forget to
rest.
feed it,
Yes.
like if you decide to go to the World Championship and you have a sourdough at home and you forget to get a babysitter,
Oops. You have to
You get-
babysit your
you get
sourdough
home
culture.
and that thing has
Exactly.
exploded.
That's true. It grows when you're not watching it, right?
And that happened to mine and it died.
It's kind of like leaving your kids alone in their room.
So not
without
not
watching
only
them.
did I not become world champion, Frank also died.
Frank
Poor
the sourdough
Poor
culture.
Frank.
Poor
So
Frank.
that was a double
Was there a
sentence.
crime scene?
Oh yeah, I still have. It was in the storage locker.
Put the lid on tight.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no, I still have sourdough and some wine bottles.
Oh, Lord
because I
yeah.
got some really nice wine bottles for our wedding and
Yep.
kind of haven't touched them yet. And I was right next to it. So when that thing exploded, so now I have sourdough on the wine.
Yeah, you can raise a toast to Frank.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was so sad. I still haven't just cleaned it up.
Poor Frank.
Poor Frank. Anyways, sourdough. It's
So,
fun.
did you take sourdough with you on your world travel?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
So,
It is
No.
a reason why we have you here.
yeah.
Not
sourdough,
of course sourdough, and you're an amazing human being, and
That's
we missed
right.
you loads when you were gone.
Yeah.
But you did one thing that I think I've heard, and I do believe many have wanted to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is a show of inner strength and power and exploration. It is a proof of non-addiction to the materialistic way of life. It is a bravery beyond compare, and you sit with a lot of experience. You can't be afraid to have experiences when you suddenly just say, you know what? Don't care if it's Corona or not Corona. I'm giving up my house. I'm going to buy myself a Caravan and I'm going to drive. And that's what you did.
Yes.
Dude, that's so cool. Can you tell us, just like, give us a little lowdown on, what was the path? Talk a little bit about what you experienced, and let me shoot you some questions, and let Marit shoot you some questions, because that's a lot of people thinking my life would just be all right. I really just have my thing if I could just drop all this shit and leave.
I wish I could just do something different, but then no, I can't, because ABC. You have all of these things that you feel you have to do, that you don't necessarily have to do, but society and your mothers and fathers and teachers and preachers put stuff on you.
This is expectations.
Expectations, that this is how your life should be. And if your life is not like this, then you're odd or wrong, or and it keeps a lot of us in that box of we're not happy and we don't know what we want, but at least we're sticking within the frame of society.
Exactly. And one last thing, I just want you guys to understand, because you're going to make some excuses in your head while you're listening, and you're not going to listen, but I want you to listen when he talks. But you're going to say, yeah, but he doesn't have kids. Yes, he does. Yeah, but he doesn't have a wife. Yes. Partner. Okay, so yeah, but he didn't have a job or something. Yeah, he actually did a very good job before he left. Yeah, but he took the step out of bravery, out of self-exploration, out of wanting to live life, to move out of a smaller environment and go out into the world. How did you figure that out? How did it go? What happened? Tell us everything.
Oh yeah. It shouldn't take long.
You have 40 minutes.
Yeah, I see. Yes. Where to begin? Well, we've had the idea of traveling for many years, and we have kind of dipped our toe in it a couple of times. Like we spent a winter in Canary Islands, and we spent a winter in Portugal earlier. And we did a similar thing. Well, at least when we went to Portugal, because we were both working in Bergen, quit our jobs. We're living in a sailboat, actually.
Wow.
Because we...
In a
go back to that.
In a sailboat.
Yes. Because we had a house in Voss many years ago. And we renovated, did what was, I guess, expected.
Yeah, I would say expected,
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Buy a house, buy it cheap, and then you renovate, and you kind of grow into it. So we did that for a couple of years. Decided, maybe sailboat. Yeah. None of us had sailed before, so we
just love it.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
But I mean, there's YouTube. You can
level it up.
Sail off of YouTube.
If you can learn how to make sourdough off YouTube, why not learn how to sail?
Sensei YouTube. Yeah.
No, but so we did that. We sold a house, bought a boat, and spent a year in Bergen, living on a boat in Solheimsviken and working on land. Yeah. We had an idea then to go sail around the world.
That is far from YouTube.
Yes. There's no decking out at sea. I think.
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
You don't have 5G?
Not back in 2000, whenever it was. Yeah.
No, okay.
And we're talking about modern Vikings here. If you see Jonas, he's got a big red beard and it's like awesome hair.
It's a man bun.
And he's a giant. We call him Big Daddy because he's a giant. He's big, strong guy.
He's a gentle giant.
Yeah, gentle, of course, but he loves to battle a little bit and travel. So what the hell? Yeah. You're right.
But okay, so you wanted to travel the world on the sailboat.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the idea. And then I guess short story, life happens and plans change. So we didn't do that. We rented out the sailboat as an Airbnb and an apartment.
Wow.
So to speak, in Bergen. And then we left for Portugal. We quit our jobs and we left for Portugal a couple of months. Came back and kind of had an experience, and we learned some things.
Yeah,
I guess.
cool. Like what?
That maybe we need to maybe we need to plan things a bit more, or kind of think it all the way through. Forward to we had our daughter in 2016.
Hence Big Daddy.
Yes.
And just have to say, Big Daddy is one of those guys that he's super tough, and if he gets you in a jiu-jitsu position, you have a problem. But he's the one that will dress like a princess if his daughter tells him to.
Yeah,
and that's so lovely.
Absolutely.
I know, and I love that because you're a big guy, you're a strong guy, you're a tough guy. But when your daughter says, "Daddy, dress like Elsa," you dresses like Elsa, and I love dads that do that. I think that's amazing because that means that you have good connection with both sides of you.
Integrated personality.
It's integrated. It's showing up for your daughter the best way possible.
Yep.
Thank you.
I just love that.
That's why I have long hair, of course. Just to braid it like us.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, let's stick with that.
Let's stick with that. Okay.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes, yeah.
It's a lovely story. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
We also went when she was a year and a half. We spent a winter in Canary Islands, and also looking for, what were we looking for? Looking for a break from winter, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, climate change,
Exactly.
but personal.
But the good kind.
The good kind. Yeah.
Yeah. Warmer.
Warmer.
Yes. Well, that's climate change. Yeah.
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 Yes. Well, that's a different.
Yeah.
And that's a different
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. No. So we've had this call it wanderlust or something for a while, and we've talked about a camper van.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and kind of looked on at like different sites to buy used vehicles, and suddenly this summer something popped up. Like, oh yeah, and I just had this call it intuition, like knowingness.
Yeah.
That, oh yeah, that's our car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's not a coincidence, is
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. So you kind of know, and I thought, oh yeah, okay. So I went and had a look, and turns out great car.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that, and spent the summer kind of exploring what it means to have a camper van.
Yeah,
Like
and there's some
feeling like-
practical issues, right? Because it's supposed to be your house on wheels.
Yes.
So you have to learn how to deal with the eating situation and living situation and what it actually means to be three people in a caravan, and that's a thing.
Yes, and it turns out because we jump in with both feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course we get a camper van, and this is our chance. My daughter starts school coming August. So it'll never be easier to like just leave everything and go traveling.
Yeah, because that has to be said. You were smart because you were thinking, okay, if we want to do it, it's now, because when your daughter starts school, you don't want to take her out of school to do this.
No, I mean
Yeah,
that's
it's much more elegant.
A whole other thing of
Yeah, then like we
Yeah.
say, you can't. Then you start to interfere in her education and her placement,
possibly,
and
or
that's
have to homeschool.
yeah, and
the whole
that's
thing.
different
Yes.
again. So
Yeah.
it's the perfect time if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Do it now.
yes,
Yeah.
that was the idea. That we kind of, it makes sense to do it now. And of course, Corona is happening.
Yeah.
And was happening, but I didn't really feel because I think if you're gonna get Corona, it won't be at the beach in Spain,
No.
parked and kind of doing your thing in the sun, spending a lot of time, all of the time outside, and kind of being active. That never really scared us.
No.
or
No.
was a thing.
No.
And turns out on the trip, there wasn't a thing either.
Yeah.
It rarely
exactly.
came up.
Yeah.
I mean, past the point that you put your mask on when you go into a supermarket or like in a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a interesting thing about the whole Corona thing, and that is that, of course, it's a political movement now. It's not just a medical technical issue. In order to inspire people to try to take care of themselves, of course, they've put a lot of panic and anxiety out there. You know, as a healthcare practitioner, I have over 28,000 different people in my database, and I'm working with people all the time. We haven't had one person get Corona from the office, and we also haven't really had more than one or two that have had Corona. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say overestimation of how contagious it is and how you can get it everywhere, and you should be paranoid. You know, like you're saying, when you're traveling and people are relatively conscious, you're not really that much in danger, right? You know, so you didn't really meet Corona on your travels in Spain, even though the whole place had been on high alert for a long time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Same
Yes.
here.
Yeah, and I mean, before I left, I had my vaccine passport and everything sorted because I want to
Yeah.
be safe
Yeah.
going in that distance, and you don't want to end up in lockdown somewhere because you don't have the papers. But I think, I showed my piece of paper once, and it was a campsite in Germany.
Yeah, exactly.
And other than that, it's just been stuck in a box. Like
They just go up, thanks, up.
Yeah, it's like
exactly. It's the same thing that we've been hearing also at the airports here in Norway. They're like, go. Yeah, but my papers, go. You know,
There's so much hassle that says that you have to have it that I think people are doing it because it's so much work to do it that you kind of course you have to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the police are like, I'm
you
sure
wanna-
you have it. I'm sure you have it. I'm sure you have it. Right.
Yes. Yeah, and it's not like because you wanna be thoughtful of like people around you. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's
'Cause
it.
It's not like I'm just going out willy nilly and just ignoring it completely. But it's I guess we're law abiding.
Yeah,
We're rule abiding at least
yeah.
in Norway.
Yeah,
so it's like
absolutely.
okay, well,
Yeah.
they say you should do this.
We don't break
so-
the law.
Yeah, you don't want to break the law.
No.
And,
Very rarely
I mean,
do,
unless the law is wrong, you know. But then that's a whole philosophical discussion, you know.
Yes.
Right? You know, the whole question, you know, do you lie or do you not lie? Well, when the Germans come in and ask you, are those Jews underneath your floorboards? What do you say? No.
That's a question we have to have for another podcast.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the questions we asked this we had a workshop on communication,
Yes.
and that's one of the questions.
Yeah.
Because what do you say?
Yeah. What do you say? Do you tell the truth? Or sometimes you have to figure out where you're going to focus. And of course, being considerate to people and getting your Corona passes, what's done, you know. But you can reserve your right to be paranoid and full of fear,
Yes.
which you
exactly.
were not
Yeah.
full of fear and paranoid, and you traveled and enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did one genius thing. I've seen pictures because what I like that you did with the Caravan was that I saw pictures that you were like driving around Boston and around and stuff just to kind of check it out. So you didn't just pack it and go.
Yeah,
You get some testing, and that you had this big carpet outside.
Yes.
It made the living room
Exactly.
so much bigger.
Yeah.
That was
It
genius.
was very cool.
Like it's not like a tiny carpet. It's not like
No, it's
Aladdin's
giant,
flying carpet. It's one of those big ass ones. The one you have in a dining room
Yes.
sized.
Yeah, it's from our dining room.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Of course. Yes,
course.
I mean, it has to.
Yeah.
It
had to come
it
along.
was genius
Yeah.
Genius.
because it's so heavy that it doesn't move with wind, and you expand your, I don't know,
Your feeling of home.
your feeling of home. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
would
like
imagine.
it's like having a little terrace outside
Yeah,
your
yes.
door, and it's also like it feels a bit like a gateway into like you're now inside and then coming out onto the carpet and then onto the world.
Yes.
Exactly.
In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's
love
nice,
it. I love it. Smart.
So what did you learn living in a way with your family that you didn't have a break? Because a lot of people live with their spouse or they live with their kids. You know, Corona has really created a lot of issues for people because they have home office with their kids. You know, I had a lady who was like, listen, and this woman is like super duper effective. They took 2 100% positions and put them together and gave it to her, and she's just kicking ass on it. I mean, she's just tearing it up. But as soon as she was at home with the home office, then everything started to go sideways. And she was like, oh my God, you know, it's so hard because, you know, I never get a break. And
Home office and
homeschooling and, you know, dealing with the kids at the same time. She's taking 2 telephones. I mean, you know, she has like 2 telephones that she's constantly, you know, when she comes in to get her adjustments. And she just said, listen, I have an issue now. I feel like such a bad mom. And I'm like, why? Because I don't get a break. Because a lot of people deal with their spouse or they deal with their family or they deal with their friends or they deal with their work in portion sizes. Like, I can deal with you for 3 hours in the evening, but I need to get the hell out the house tomorrow morning to get myself a break. And then I come back. And a lot of people don't know that they actually escape their different situations, their work situation, their home situation, their friend situation, whatever it is, because, you know, okay, there's some stuff that's a little bit over energetic or under energetic or sideways energetic, and they take a break and they kind of find their balance again and they come back, and that's how they deal with it. But when you're in a caravan, man, you have your family on top of you, and it doesn't mean that you don't love them, that they're on top of you, because they're on top of you, right?
It's not. It's not tiny. No, it's not big. Sorry,
It's not
it
big.
is very
a caravan,
tiny.
It's not big.
No.
And you're together all the time,
Yes.
and not just together. You're on top of each other all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, when you're in the car, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
how,
wanna.
how do you
like,
take?
Yeah.
How do you take breaks? How did you feel? Was there a need to take breaks? Or
Where
was
is
it like-
Jonas' time?
Is there anything that's called Big Daddy time?
Yeah. Well, there is and there isn't. I guess. Yeah. Of course, we take turns,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Entertaining our daughter,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a big part of the day.
Yeah.
When there's no kindergarten, there's no extra activities, stuff like that. So basically taking turns, and sticking to, if you want to do a thing, you go do it.
Yeah.
Because if you're waiting for permission or like trying to wait, I mean that's the typical. If you're waiting for everything to like the time to be just right,
Yeah.
it's
Never
not
right.
going to happen. Yeah. So you want to just go. I mean, yeah, and that can apply in other parts of life too, right? Because
Yes.
yeah, waiting for that perfect time when the stars align and the
Yeah.
moon is just right, and it's So yeah, and that just realizing that, I guess, is not a given.
No.
But you feel, it's hard to put into words, but just basically trying to see your own needs and the needs of your partner, and also our daughter, right?
Yeah,
because
that's
that's
of course,
also
yeah.
big, because
Yeah.
she's. And that was actually one of the bigger discoveries, or the fact that we took her from her known, like,
Environment.
everyday routine, right?
Yeah.
Environment, kindergarten, friends, family, network, and then we go, no, we're going to Spain, and you don't speak. You speak not a lot of English and no Spanish.
Yes.
So here you go.
Yes. Enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was a big learning process, I guess.
Yeah.
To kind of see, because we all of a sudden made ourselves super important.
Yeah.
So it's not just that you need to entertain, but you're the only source of communication.
Yes.
Yeah. So everything goes through a parent.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you are if you're gonna buy a Coke, she can't necessarily say, I want a Coke.
No.
It has to go through one of you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
While in Norway, she can just say, "Jag vill ha brus."
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a soda.
Exactly.
But if you don't know it in Spanish, and I've been to Spain and not all of them speak English, you need to have at least some words in Spanish to be effective around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you basically have to work on a high level of respect and cooperation, respect for other person's needs. At the same time, is there some kind of a balance there that maybe most people don't have to really relate to, I would say, right? Because you are on top of each other, and you are very important for each other in that. Like you said, I love what you said there. You made yourself very important, and that's actually true for your child, but also your wife. You know, it's like when I had a situation when I was a child. I was in her situation, your daughter's situation. I was like, I need to go to the bathroom, and I said, "So, Dad, you know, I was in Italy, and I was like, how do you ask where the bathroom is?" I Okay, dov'è il gabinetto? And I was like, okay, dov'è il gabinetto? Dov'è il gabinetto? I was working, and I had to pee because I was like, okay, I have to get moving here. Let's go. So I finally went up there and I asked the guy, and his answer was, okay, walk through the people, go out onto the terrace, take a right, go underneath the terrace, and then underneath the building, it's dark. So you're going to have to reach around and find a little dingly-dangly thing, and you're going to have to pull that. The light will come on, okay? Now, there's a bunch of stuff down there, so don't kick your foot. Now, when you find this little hanging down thing and you pull it out, now go in a little further, and it's on the left. Now, there's no door. That's why we don't have the light on. So you can choose if you want the light on or you don't want the light on. And I was standing there like...
And he said it's
in Italian.
Yeah, of course.
Super fast, because there was a bunch of people, and I'm just like, oh, crap. Because there's a whole level of, I can ask where the bathroom is, but can you understand what they say when they tell you where it is? No. So there's a whole level of, like you're saying, making yourself very central, very important. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool concept.
Yeah. And it was kind of, it
was bonding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then trying to, making an effort to teach her enough Spanish so that she can do like the basic things, and also English, obviously, because you meet a lot of other travelers from all over Europe. So it was a bit challenging in the beginning, but then once she could have cracked the code and got some confidence, it's amazing seeing her kind of pop out of her shell and then make conversation and really sort of go after it. And I mean, there's a mix of Norwegian words when she can't really find it in English and Spanish. That was very beautiful to observe.
Of course.
Pride and just fascinating to see it on a very basic level. Yeah, because it's like you said, if you nail that phrase, how do you go to the bathroom? Yeah, you get this answer. Yes, but if you kind of stagger along and make it apparent that you don't really speak the language, then you may get an answer adjusted to your understanding. Exactly. Right? That's so you don't want to be too fluent. Exactly. You want to. Yes. Exactly. So if you come in with no accent, they answer you with no accent. Exactly. Yes, exactly.
And then you're standing there being yourself and just
question mark.
It's like, don't have time for this answer. Right?
Need to pee now.
Exactly. Please.
Well, I was following you guys on Instagram and on Facebook, and so you'd arrived in some kind of a cool artist village or something like that. Wasn't it like a collective of people who were focused on creating art and stuff? Could you tell me a little bit about that? How did you figure out that you wanted to visit them? How did you find them? And what was it like?
Yes. Well, we visited place called Rec on Spain. Yeah, I guess is the one you're referring to. They were a Polish couple. Yeah. That left very, very successful jobs in Poland, selling used car parts internationally. Yeah. To go pursue their dream. Yeah. Yeah. And part of that was, that they ended up in the mountains in Andalusia with this art project that is, it's about making like art installations and useful like coat hangers and lamps and stuff like that from
usable art.
Yes. Okay. Yes. But everything is from old engines.
Whoa.
Car parts.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
Yes.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's really something, and that can sound like a very scrappy kind of. You just go,
wow! Did you just say scrappy? That was funny.
Well, it does actually sound. I've seen the pictures and know what it looks like. Yeah. But if you're listening to this and you go, art out of
Car parts.
car parts.
Sounds scrappy. Scrap. Auto scraps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a pun. There's a pun in
There's
there.
a pun.
Ah,
Yeah.
ha.
Right.
Maybe, yeah.
Sounds
I see
scrappy.
it now.
So
Anyway.
there's no coincidence.
No.
But sometimes things just happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The paradox.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they don't do any marketing. Like they're not really well. They have an Instagram profile, but they don't really post a lot. They just kind of somehow attract people that are attracted to them.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
That's
also
it.
very like we talked about
It's
the coincidences.
yeah, and it's organic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very organic.
Yeah.
So it goes with the word of mouth, and I like it, and I talk to my friends that I think can like it, and then
Yeah.
words get around somehow. So you say that they attract their people.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that was just a magical experience. So many beautiful people and great conversations about spirituality or religion or anything in between.
Cool.
Like, yeah, really connected with a lot of people there, and also which then, if you to go back to the coincidences, because if you accept the fact that it's not the coincidence that we're there, and you kind of lean into it a little bit, then you see that you're maybe meant to meet the people there.
Exactly.
And
You meet that guy that you needed because he knew that guy
exactly.
that made you do that thing that changed your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that led to the discussion that maybe, like, and in because it changed at some point from being an adventure to see places and the country, but it's also then it became apparent that we're looking for people.
That's
right?
it.
Sense of community and having these discussions were just like finding a golden nugget just in that place and made beautiful connections and learned a lot both from that's the beauty of a conversation because you learn a lot from your partner, like conversation partner, but you also learn a lot from yourself.
Yeah.
That you didn't necessarily know that you knew.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
it.
kind of go, hey,
Wow.
wow,
Did I say that?
exactly.
Or
Yeah.
didn't I say that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's it.
So this really
But I really like what you said there, that it went from a travel of like an adventure travel to more like a journey thing, like you were seeking something all of a sudden.
Yeah. Of people and meaning and
Yeah.
philosophy and spiritual travel and exploration. Because your life is either spiritual or it's not. You know, it's like everything is, like you're saying, if you think there's no coincidences and there's meaning everywhere, then everything's meaningful.
Yeah.
You know, and you find that. And if you treat those encounters like that, then it becomes meaningful.
Yes.
Right? And that's so cool. And then you grow so much. That's beautiful.
Just have to add, because the people that are listening to it doesn't know why we're laughing about the word coincidence, but that is because before this podcast started, we started having a conversation, and I just yelled, "Stop it! We can't talk about this because this has to be on the podcast." Because I said that I stopped believing in coincidence a while back, because I couldn't force things. I feel like when I force stuff, that then it doesn't end up with the success and the feeling and the joy and stuff that I hoped it would. But if I just accept that wasn't the thing, something else opened up. So we were going to have a seminar, big ass seminar in Flom, meditation event. And we advertised, we used big money on it. We tried everything
People
we
are
had.
telling us they want to come.
People were telling us they wanted to come. We didn't sell the tickets. And, it's a hotel, so they kind of you need to book or not. So we said, we're not selling the tickets that we need to sell.
Because Corona restrictions hit ban.
The corona hit again.
Yeah, because we've been opening and closing, so we didn't sell the tickets because of
well, we sold some, and then the government shut us down again, and then it was so insecure, and then of course you didn't sell the tickets, and I'm like, we're not gonna, sorry language, fuck that stuff. We can't do that. We can't put 100,000 in the bank for the hotel and that not ending up selling tickets because of corona.
Yeah.
So we just said, we cancel that. We see what happens.
Because if there are no coincidences, the fact that corona stopped it means it's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence.
So it's not meant
you
to
were
be.
getting so many no's. Yeah. You're getting so many no's. People
Yeah.
are saying they want to come, but doesn't buy ticket. Corona shut down again. The hotel says it needs to happen now. We need to know now.
Because they're under stress as well,
Of
because
course.
they need their income.
So you kind of get no. And then we go, okay, let go of that. And then, not kidding you, 2 days later, people started texting me, where's the event? Like, are you kidding me? We just canceled it. But now people are starting. So we just pivoted and we we just turned around. What's the opportunity we have? Okay, let's do it here. So now we're going to have an event here, 5th and 6th of March, and that's sold out. And that's sold out
in a week.
Within a week, and we didn't even advertise it.
And that's like when, is it like 2 or 3 months now?
I said 1 month.
It's in a month, yeah.
So now we're going to put up another one because this one is fully booked, and we want to help as many people as possible. So now we need to set up another one.
Yeah.
But this wouldn't have happened if we didn't cancel Flom.
Yeah, and also...
Exactly. Is that a coincidence?
Yeah.
Or was it that we were pushing it so hard and we were getting told no, so when we released that, something else opened up?
Yes.
And then you don't have to feel... I wasn't angry at all for canceling Flom. I said, it's telling us no.
Yes.
Like, they got talking, I talked to this about Jason, they have a law they want to put up in Norway, there's a samtykkelov. What's good at in English? It's going to be a...
samtycke. What?
Consent.
Consent. Thank
it's
you.
Consent. It's the world traveler. Consent. You need consent, and we were trying Flom, but
the universe
energy,
was
the
not
universe
giving us consent.
wasn't giving us consent. It was telling us, not now. We don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And we were like, come on. The kind of annoying guy in the bar. Come on, and no. So when you release that, it opens up something else.
Exactly.
And then we got a lot of consent.
Yeah, exactly. And the beautiful thing that Big Daddy said in that relationship when Marit, she came in and said, I don't believe in coincidences
anymore.
And he said yes. And the question always is, if there are no coincidences, do you believe in enough to follow through? That was so beautiful. And it's kind of like what you said is lean into it. Like really like give yourself over to the fact. Act as if it's not a coincidence. And most people are like, oh, that was a weird coincidence. Well, maybe it wasn't a coincidence. If it's not a coincidence, maybe the universe is constructing a life for you. Maybe things are working out. Maybe you're being directed in a certain way. Are you sensitive to the way you're being directed? Are you sensitive to the things that are coming to you? Are you, if things are not coincidental and they're meaningful and they're for you, they're personalized, your life is personalized, are you treating it that way?
And things not necessarily, you can't force things. And if you look back and you're in your journey with the last months, it looks different from what you thought it would look like.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about expectations, right? And
because you're trying to also to force your expectations and stuff, when that's not necessarily what the universe is telling you.
No consent.
It's not consenting to your idea of how it's going to look. So you're getting a lot of struggle because it's telling you, I don't want to do that. No. Not, you were going right. No. But then you can just, like you say, just release it and lean into it. And then all of a sudden, it's much easier.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely some letting go there. Yeah, of the expectations. And also being, like you said, sensitive to the, whatever word you want to use, maybe omens or like signs. To kind of, and also having faith. Like having faith in those. Okay, well, I think, or maybe think is the wrong word. I sense that this is maybe the way to go, and you go, you follow it, and then it's definitely not like you expected,
right.
but it's what you needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. When you look back,
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah, yes, yeah, many.
Yeah, because now you're back in Voss.
I am. Yeah.
Why? How?
Yeah, why did you come back, bro?
Why did you come back?
Besides doing jiu-jitsu
well,
with
we
us?
have missed you.
You know what I'm
I have
saying?
to say,
You knew we missed you.
Within a week after you left, we were like, I'm gonna miss Big Daddy.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna miss him in the club, and then you came back.
Yes.
Thank
Yes, I did.
God.
Yeah, we spent 3 months on the road, and
What
many
did you
reasons
discover?
to come back.
What did you discover
Well, I
for coming back? Like, what was the discovery you made that made you come back here?
Yeah. Well, it has to do with the fact that there's going towards something, and then there's going away from something, like escaping.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a balancing act, and it's not like it's only one thing, but maybe the discovery was had to do with wherever you go, you kind of you still have your things, right? I mean, you're still yourself.
Yeah, but
With all your baggage and your so it's
your thought patterns,
Exactly.
your behaviors.
and so an integrated human, we say, no matter where you are,
There you are.
there you are, right?
yes,
Yeah.
I've heard you guys say that.
Yep.
And you actually have now felt it.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, experience it.
So it was I mean many reasons. Definitely a discovery that I want to be in Voss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know there's a knowing. It's like, okay, my place is Voss. And it's of course it's amazing to go, and I'll definitely be going for more trips. But for the time being and the way things are, Voss is the place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just having that
sorry, I shouldn't interrupt, but that it's just it's such a beautiful thing you're saying. So freedom, finding yourself. Does that happen in Lisbon? Does it happen in Andalusia? Does it happen in Voss? Where does that happen for you?
Well, freedom is, however you can be in any of those places.
Exactly, because it has to do with you. Freedom is inside. It's a feeling of inside freedom, right? And that was one of the beautiful things that you said, that you've been traveling and you've done it, and the process, that spiritual process and awakening that you are giving yourself, happens just as easily here as it does in a caravan.
Yeah. If you pursue it.
Yeah, that's it.
If you lean into it.
Yes,
exactly.
if you lean into it.
If you make the choice. Yeah. And I mean that's exactly like knowing why you're doing a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
knowing why I came back, because I chose to see this as the place to be.
And I think that's a big one, because a lot of, especially a place like Voss, I love Voss.
Yes.
I came back for the same reason. One day I just said, I need to go home. And I've lived outside Norway. I live north, south, east, west in Norway. Voss is home. Nothing else is home. I needed to come home, and that's Voss. But I think a lot of people stick to a place without actually doing that, and just figuring out the place for me to be now is Voss or Bergen or Lisbon or whatever that is. So there's not a conscious decision that they've actually figured out that that's the place for them to be. And that's important, because then it frees you up. You don't have to go around thinking, oh, I could have lived other places. What if I lived here? I would have these options. But you are where you need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you feel like we did, that something's not. We need to make a move or make a change. So you take that step. I mean, and you can just as easily not take the step out of convenience or comfort but making that step, and then at least you've made that the first step.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of have a look around because you have another perspective.
Yes.
And then okay, yeah. So maybe you go back to the place you were.
Exactly.
But now you kind of see it from the different angle.
Exactly.
And
that's it.
Yeah.
Because
More
it's not the place you're going, but it's the decision to free yourself from where you are. So you freed yourself from Voss, where we're living now, in order to travel. But the travel, in a way, just that whole idea that you're not going to allow this arena to control you. So then you can come back and be free in this arena. It's the decision, in a way, that I can. And I know I can.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's it does open some horizons, I guess, like just mentally. I think I see things from a slightly different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
You seem calmer.
Yeah.
From coming back,
yeah.
you seem much calmer, much and
self-secure.
Self-secure. You seem like you have a lot of much more. You have a lot more collected your energy. So when you decide to go or not go, but where you want to push that energy, it's going to be much more directed than what it was before, because then it was kind of going a little bit everywhere. But you seem like you kind of more you have collected yourself more to be more because you are more free.
Yeah.
And therefore you're not in that box that we talked about in the beginning, that all these expectations, because you took away all the expectations and figure out who you are based on yourself and not on all that mothers and fathers and teachers and preachers stuff.
Woot, woot.
Yeah. Yeah, because well, it's a matter of seeing how to turn this into a sentence. Well, there's expectations, right, from all sides, and trying too hard to meet everyone's expectations of what you're meant to be and how you're meant to live your life is it's easy to get lost.
Yes.
Like lose yourself in that.
Yes.
Okay, so what am I doing for myself and what am I doing because it's expected? I mean,
yeah.
and that can be consciously, unconsciously, just yeah, and that I think I now see more clearly.
Very cool.
Well,
Well,
kind of, yeah.
Well, there's a thing in martial arts where a person who has never had a physical confrontation. Often, Marit and I talk about this. The men walk around with a beast mode button inside, and they think that, if I have to, I'm going to push the beast mode button and an atomic bomb's going to go off. I'm just going to blow this place up. Ain't nobody. And these guys have not had the challenge of walking a steep set of stairs. They completely physically non-explored. They don't have any grip on themselves very often. And unfortunately, that's a larger and larger percent of the population, that they have no proof or challenge that they are actually in a body. They are more on their computers than ever and mobile phones. So their idea of what they're capable of and the reality is often very different. But as soon as they start to train and they actually learn, like yourself, like myself, like Marit, you get to a point, for example, in karate or in our cases, jiu-jitsu, where you can handle business. You can do it. How much less are you likely to actually start or get into a fight or even fight a guy who wants to fight you? Right?
Yeah.
It's because you could. You can drop the bomb on the guy. You can choke him out. You can do what you need to do in order to protect yourself. So then you're calm enough, confident enough, and present enough to make a good decision. In the same way, when you're in a situation where people are throwing their expectations on you. If you've, in a period of your life, broken people's expectations and freed yourself from that, truly freed yourself from that, what are the chances, even though they're still trying to pick a fight with you, they're still trying to throw an expectation on you, but you can then choose out of a clear mind and a clear heart whether you want to do that or not. Is it my thing or not my thing? And dealing with them is easy because you're not, in a way, chained to them. Because when you let their expectations be your life because they expect it, not because you're evaluating yourself, then you are chained. And a dog on a chain is a dog that's going to bite you, right? The frustration and the limitation and the freak out. You know, that's what teenagers are going through. They're trying to figure out who they are and trying to break the expectation of their parents. But at the same time, they can't because they're living at home and they're completely dependent and they don't
they need parents to eat.
That's it. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to do what you say. Okay, no dinner for you. Shit. Right?
Yeah. I'm not going to wash your clothes. Mom, where's my,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what, you going to apologize now? Right?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right? But the whole point is that when you really truly have gone through a personal change. Now, do you need to change your life in order to have this experience? Do you need to travel in order to have the experience?
Of course not.
It's more the decision that you could. Right? I could travel. I could sell my stuff. I could pick some other place. Will I? I don't know. But I know I could. I know I could finish this confrontation. But do I? Guy looks like he's having a hard time today. I don't want to make his time any harder. Yeah. I don't think I need to give him. I'm just going to make sure that he's safe, I'm safe, everybody's safe, and I'm just going to,
And I need to drop in because I had this, and sorry for the people because we usually go under an hour and we're going to touch over an hour today, I think.
Yes.
But I had this because I had this in the store. I'm going 2.5 years now in COVID. No confrontations at all. And a month ago, I went to the store. And in Norway, the rule is that if you can't keep 1 meter, you need to wear a mask. So I'm in the store. It's not a lot of people there, but it's a lady in front of me. And, you go into the store and you have like a tiny basket because you're just going to have 2 stuff. And you ended up buying just a whole shit ton of stuff, and you're carrying it, and you go and you're sweating because you have a winter jacket on, it's hot inside, and you're sweating down your back, and this thing is just a little bit too heavy. You should have had one of the normal carts, but you just didn't do that. And I have a woman in front of me buying some like baby or no child food and cat food, and I have this thing, and I'm like, I need to get it on the thing where you put your groceries on, because I'm like,
the conveyor,
because I'm like,
conveyor belt,
That's
conveyor belt, well done,
well,
world traveler,
world traveler again,
Mr. Vocabulary.
So I kind of just like take this thing and I go and get it just on the edge, just so my arm doesn't fall off, and it's shoulder to shoulder. It's about 1.5 meters between me and this lady, and I have a mask on. And she turns around and she looks me dead in the eye and she yells at me and said, "You can at least try to keep your distance." And she's like, I would say around 45. And my just throat, my whole soul just drops down, and I feel like I'm in the middle of the teacher's office and I'm getting yelled at because I have done something horrible. And I felt so bad, and my whole body just went, do you know what I'm capable of? And then I switched on, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. And I said, I'm so sorry. I was in my own thoughts. I'm so sorry. Because I just started feeling so sorry for this lady.
Yeah, because you're you have an antibac stuff on your hands, and you have the mask, and everything, and you're 1.5 meters.
And I'm 1.5 meters, and it's within the meter you need a mask. And I have a mask on. It's 1.5 meters between us. She is 2.5 years into the pandemic, and she's still yelling at me.
Panicked.
But it was interesting, like you said, that the expectations, because you got thrown this shit on you, and I could feel my whole body go, you come here, I'm gonna show you what a meter is. And then you just switch around because you just go, wow, if you feel like this 2 years into pandemic, I'm so sorry, because that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
When
still
that's your
freaking
stress
out.
level.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I can see you have kids. And your kids must be, I don't know what's going on. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. I don't need to throw shit back. I'm gonna just say I'm so sorry for being in my own mind and not thinking about it. So sorry.
Yeah, not adding any more to that stress.
I don't have to do that. But if this had been before my process, I would fire right back at her.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I would go, I'm creeping over and meet her. And she, like I would, and then we have a shitstorm, and it would be really uncomfortable for the poor lady behind the counter just to beeping all the groceries.
yeah,
Yes, everyone involved. Yeah,
exactly.
You know, so
I'd
having
be
that
there eating popcorn, like, wow, this is amazing.
So having that freedom is extremely important.
Yeah.
I can just,
yeah. No, but it's just.
I'm just saying, I had sweat down my back, and there's few things that is just as uncomfortable than being in a store with too much jacket on.
That's it.
Yes.
And you just, and the mask, and you can't breathe, and oh my God.
But this is an important point, because people talk about love, people talk about compassion, but you actually have to have some inner freedom in order to have that. You have to have confidence enough, you have to have freedom inside enough to be able to set a situation in perspective. Because if you're desperately for life and death chained to a person or chained to an event, man, that's a lot of power over you. Then it's going to dictate whether or not you're having a good time or not. If you can free yourself inside, you can be in a situation and even literally be chained, but still be free inside and be okay with the situation. So, Marit, that was a beautiful story. It was excellent.
Poor lady.
No, poor lady,
I
yeah.
felt so for her.
Yeah.
But it has to do with what we talked about. Like, you know, because you talk about, we talk about martial arts a lot, and you can think about all the people, you kind of, you know, you can beat that person up, so you don't have to go into a confrontation, although they're confronting you. But it's the same thing with expectations. It just looks different, but it's the same mechanics. It's the same thing. You're not confident that you can handle this situation, so you feel like you have to hit the guy because he's trying to pick up a fight with you. People throw their expectations at you and want you to throw back at them.
Yeah, they want you to react.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because what happens when people yell at you and you not yell back?
In English, they even say, like, yank your chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no chain on me, bro. You can't yank stuff. You got to go ahead and yank the air. Like,
it's very. If you've tried it, you should try it. If you know a person that is gonna yank in your chain, try not to yank back when they do that. It's very interesting because they're so used to when they push a button, you push a button, and then, you know, it escalates. Don't push your button, and they freak out because they do not know how to handle that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because but you push, I push, and you push, and we push together, and then it blows up.
Why won't you play my game with me?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yes.
Why don't you want to play the freak out game?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like in Italy, there's like this thing. It's like a stress management thing. I would say it's the Italian way of dealing with traffic. Italians are the best people in the world, except in traffic and when they're buying food. Don't get in the way. So they actually pull off to the side of the road and get out of their car and yell at each other as like a therapy session almost. It's like,
never physical.
Right? Never
they
physical.
Still yell like,
but they
3
pull each other
meters,
over.
and
they scream and yell, and then they get back in their car and they go home with their wife. And, you know, I'm like, you eat you eat dinner next to your wife with that nasty mouth of yours? Like, horrible things they were saying, right? Because they get their stress out.
Yeah.
Because you pushed my button with being slightly annoying in the traffic. So then we can release, because
and I give you a sign that tells you your wife's cheating on you or whatever, right? And then you're going to pull over and yell at each other, how dare you, and blah, 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 and you should get a brain and whatever, and then get back in the car and go.
But what if one of them said, I'm so sorry.
I love you, bro. You're so beautiful. Your voice is like Pavarotti.
You want a hug?
You want a hug? Right,
Oh, blowing up some steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why not?
exactly.
And that's a lot of
If
what
it
people
works.
do. They can't blow out steam. We talked about this before. They can't blow out steam on their close ones, so they blow that on whoever
On
is close to them.
random person,
Perhaps the lady that is 1.5 meter close to you.
So again, having some compassion, you know, for people is a good thing, but you have to be somewhat free inside.
Yeah. We have to go back to our sourdough bread.
Oh,
That's
that's
out
right. We have
there.
sourdough bread.
So
So
thank you, Jonas.
Big Daddy,
Thank you.
you rock,
Thank you
bro.
guys very
This is the longest episode ever.
Yes.
And we could have continued.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have you back.
Oh, yes.
I'd love to. Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
More sourdough.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today you were able to follow us and Joans Murray, aka Big Daddy, on World Travels, Tales of Sourdough, Compassion and Freedom, and Personal Process. The personal process before it happens is shit happens. The novice wonders why this is happening to me and why am I always the one? Does God love me? Does God not love me? The adept understands that they have the power over their own lives and search for teachers and communities and people to be with that can stimulate their process. But the advanced student understands that them and only they are the solution, are their own path, and that the freedom is in their own heart. Thank you, Jonas.
Thank you.
So, remember your matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.